Welcome back to the Spin Lobby where politics is always funny. Okay, so we've got the elections and the polls. We've got very smart people who tell us what's going to happen. All right, Trump versus Kamala, the polls, the never ending election circus. In a land where elections never truly end, where red and blue tribes clash with the intensity of a real TV finale, and where every new poll feels like an episode of Survivor, two iconic figures find themselves locked in a strange, eternal race: President Trump and Vice President Kamala. What began as a contest of political ideas, and let's be honest, a lot of shouting, has become a saga of poll numbers, scandals, and increasingly absurd soundbites. Welcome to the 2024 election cycle, where scientific polling feels about as reliable as a magic 8 ball, and the nation has front row seats to the greatest spectacle on earth, unless you, of course, count The Bachelor. So, Chapter 1: The Tale of Two Polls. Every morning, Americans wake up to the latest poll, each more confusing than the last. One poll shows Kamala Harris leading Trump by a comfortable margin. She is described as inspirational, the future of the Democratic Party, and someone who knows how to laugh awkwardly at her own jokes. In this poll, the people have spoken and they are thrilled with their vice president. Meanwhile, just across the street, another poll drops and it shows Trump ahead by an absurd number. The people love him, 10 points. Trump boasts from his gold plated resort. It's like, I never even left the White House. Some say I'm still there, in spirit, and probably in the secret rooms. His supporters really believe that. They rally waving their flags larger than some small nations and declaring that any poll not conducted by Trump's Truth Social is clearly fake news. Naturally, both Kamala and Trump choose the polls that flatter them most, while their teams scramble to explain why this one is accurate and while the other is obviously rigged by the deep state and the socialist TikTok influences. That's where we are, guys. Kamala's everlasting smile and the polls that test it. Kamala, who once dreamed of becoming the nation's first female president, finds herself navigating the political jungle with a perpetual smile that's starting to feel a bit forced. Her team assures the media that the vice president is focused, composed, and definitely not haunted by fluctuating poll numbers. That seems to drop faster than her approval ratings after she laughed at a serious question. We're gaining momentum, her press secretary declares at every event, ignoring the fact that Kamala's momentum often feels like it's coming from a very slow moving escalator. But Kamala remains optimistic. The American people just need to get to know me, she says, flashing that signature grin and pointing to her latest poll, one conducted entirely at an organic farmers market in Berkeley, California, where 98% of voters said they kind of recognized her. So, where are we? Trump's pole vaulting. Donald Trump, on the other hand, treats polls like WWE Championship. I'm winning bigly, he declares, even when the numbers suggest otherwise. After all, Trump has never been one to let facts get in the way of a good story. And so, he holds rally after rally, basking in the adoration of crowds who still chant, "Lock her up." Who her is changes with the wind, and he gleefully presents his own hand-picked polls, ones that show him winning in landslides, not seen since the days of ancient Rome. Trump's strategy is simple. If the poll doesn't show him winning, it doesn't count. He points to a recent survey conducted entirely at Mar-a-Lago, where 100% of respondents named him the greatest president of all time. After Lincoln, but better looking. Alright? have the best polls, Trump assures the crowd. And I know polls because, folks, I invented polls. Believe me, I invented polls. So that brings us to the media circus. Meanwhile, the media scrambles to make sense of the numbers. 1 minute, Kamala is up 12 points in California. The next, Trump is winning the Amish vote by a landslide. Analysts appear on TV screens looking more confused than ever, with flowcharts that seem to suggest that if the election were held today, a small group of undecided voters in Michigan might crown the winner based on their feelings about pineapple on pizza. That's a big deal. Cable news hosts desperate for clarity bring in experts to decode the madness. Well, you see, says one analyst, adjusting his glasses. Well, in this particular poll, they surveyed people who accidentally clicked on an ad for vitamins, which, as we all know, skews heavily Republican. Interesting, replies the host, pretending to care before cutting to a live shot of Trump dancing to YMC at another rally. Well, the polls really matter, but only one poll matters. The one poll that really matters. Despite the chaos, one thing becomes clear. These polls don't actually matter to anyone but the candidates themselves. For Kamala, every favorable poll is a beacon of hope, a sign that the American people are finally seeing her as the strong, capable leader she's always known she could be. For Trump, every unfavorable poll is simply proof of a massive global conspiracy to keep him from his rightful place atop the golden throne of democracy. And for the rest of America, well, they're just trying to survive the never-ending election cycle with a strong Wi-Fi signal and some decent memes. The only poll that counts, ladies and gentlemen, in the end, the only poll that truly matters is the one taken on election day. But until then, Kamala and Trump will continue their bizarre tango through the minefields of public opinion, each clutching their favorite poll like a security blanket, hoping it's enough to get them through the night. As the election circus rolls on, we can only sit back, pop some corn, and watch the greatest reality show of all, because in the world of Kamala versus Trump, the polls may be fake, but the drama is very, very real. Thanks for watching Spin Lobby.